Yeah, man, dude, I do appreciate you hopping on here. I mean, it's the point behind all this is to give professionals like you a platform to either, just, show people how good you are at what you do, but also to help people who are maybe starting thinking about doing what you're doing now. And
Hmm.
hopefully help them avoid some roadblocks. But first things first, like just tell us a little bit about you, the business, and how long you've been in doing it.
Yeah, so Matt McGuire, and I own and operate the Way Forward training. So this has been sort of a consequence of the last decade of my life, really, and really more than that, but this directed push towards this. I started in firearms when I was young. I mean, obviously, a lot of us in this realm started when we were kids. Shooting, I started on 22s, shot air rifle in high school for through JROTC. I started shooting IDPA and USPSA when I was early thousands. I was just kind of introduced to it and started dabbling a little bit. And then in 20, I guess would be really the biggest kickoff. I joined the military, went off to the Marine Corps, and did my first like traditional military style training, firearms training, and that it was a an eye opener in terms of how structured it was. But I realized pretty quickly, like coming into that situation, like I was a relatively good shooter, and this really honed in some things for me, and I got good at like the KD stuff as far as known distance shootings, things like that, and I got fairly good at it. It didn't take a lot of work, right? I was just kind of naturally good because I've been shooting for a long time. Then grew into through the Marine Corps, didn't really get to do a lot of shooting in that realm, but I chased it on my own, went and shot and did what I could. And as soon as I got out of the military, I went to Oklahoma for a job and I went out to a USPSA club. Some people invited me because I'd been looking and seeing what was going on out there. And I showed up and of course, I'm fresh out of the Marine Corps. I'm like, man, these guys got no idea what's about to happen to them. And I got absolutely mollywopped. Just like I didn't, you don't realize when you're outside of that realm, walking out on the range, 15 or 20 of these guys were shooting Three Gun Nation Pro Tour circuit. Several of them were Pan Am Shotgun World Champions. Several of them were USPSA GMs. Like about the top 20% of the range was all M's and GMs in USPSA. So walking out as a fresh Marine at 27 years old, I'm like, hey,
I got
I've
this.
got some work to do suddenly. So I started training. I mean, I shot matches from 2011 till 2013, and I just started chasing it. Just whatever I could figure out how to get better at it, right? I had a kind of a bump in the middle. My wife actually joined the military, and we went overseas for 3 years, and I went and bought an airsoft gun, and I just started dry firing. Just spent pretty much 3 years just dry
Yeah.
firing everything I could.
Yep.
And I thought I was like, man, I'm making progress from what I knew at the time. And then came through all of that, came back to the States in 2017, and I immediately went back and started training and shooting matches. And I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of hours going to every class I could get my hands on. I think I'm like probably close to 1,400, 1,500 hours of training now from pretty much everybody I could get my hands on,
Good.
from Mike Pannone through Sage Dynamics, all the original stuff. I started training with Modern Samurai Project in 2018 and ended up AIing for him and became an endorsed instructor for Modern Samurai Project. I went through the Range Master schools. I've been through NRA instructor certifications, which really not a big deal, doesn't mean anything. But the big thing for me was I went to work for a friend of mine, now a friend of mine, Mike Green at Green Ops, and I did that for about 4 years, taught, and the last year and a half, I pretty much ran the training here in South Texas for them. And it was a real recognition that your training time has nothing to do with your teaching time, right? Like your age in training, you could have been training for 20 years, but if you've never taught anyone how to do the thing, it's not the same thing. And teaching is a completely separate skill. So really diving into that, into learning how to be a good instructor, how to be diagnostic, how to be easily approachable and interfaceable with people that have different opinions, different outlooks, because everybody's going to hear me say similar things, but that may not click for this person or that person. You have to figure out multiple ways to say the same thing. And so that was really the big battle, was learning how to be a good instructor. So in 2024, end of 2024, my wife was basically on the last moments of her time in the military. She was like, I'm done. I want out. So I figured I can't really work for other people and do what I'm doing now because the way the firearms training industry works. If you work for another person, you're working a day rate pretty much. Even if you're contracting, it's a day rate. And unless you're teaching 15, 20 classes a month, it's just not enough money. So I said, all right, I can do this on my own. I know I can do it, the teaching part. And then again, another realm of experience gained because this last year has been my first year as my own business, but building your own websites, maintaining your own client list, keeping up with follow-ups. Like there's a whole nother section of the part that I would rather stick my head in the deep fryer than do. So
Yeah.
I've had to learn how to do that and live in the midst of it. Been renovating my house and all this other stuff too. So it's
Life gets in the
yeah,
way.
exactly. So the hurdles that's kind of mixed in with the storyline here is getting to this point where I felt like I had these struggles that I was fighting with my own head about, oh, I don't want to go and ask sponsors for help. I don't want to go and do this. I want to do this on my own. I want it to be organic. I want people to hear about me from other people. And the reality is, this is a business like anything else, right? If you don't treat it that way, and any product, which is a service, a product that we create by training, it requires advertisement. It requires you to go out and give people a reason to spend money with you. So you have to be willing to get over your own ego or whatever. Like, well, I don't like social media because I hate it. I don't know
Same.
how anyone could hate social media more than I do. I mean, I'm sure they're there. I just cannot.
It is a necessary evil, and both words are
Correct.
just as important.
Correct. Exactly. It is necessary and it's evil. And for me, the problem has really been engaging. I don't want to engage with people. And my biggest rule on the internet up to this point has been do not argue with hobbyists, right? Like the internet wants to argue about everything. Like, well, my experience. I'm like, what's your experience? One gun? You built one gun. You've shot 3 matches. Cool. I'm done. I'm done talking. Like I don't have anything for you. And usually in that realm, the people that want to argue on social media are not the people that are going to come take your class anyway.
Yeah, that's
But
a losing battle. It's a waste of time.
exactly. So those hurdles of just it's stuff that just like life, I mean it is life, everything else in life, you are never going to understand the tools that you're going to need, the things you're going to have to learn until you just go out and do it. Put yourself in that realm and just go do. And you're going to fail. You're going to fail at some point. You're going to mess something up. The real power to it, the real thing that's going to change your life is figuring out how to get over those things and keep going and move on and keep getting up and keep doing it. And it's hard, obviously everything in life's hard, but it's like that old catchphrase meme thing, whatever people want to put out there, that like being broke is hard, being rich is hard, being all of these other things. You could be one extreme of whatever part of life that you want to be. Each end is hard. You just got to choose which hard you're willing to deal with. And purpose for me has been the biggest thing. That's what I realized beyond the if anybody gets into teaching firearms because they think it's going to make them look cool or because they're going to be able to shoot more or any of that, it's not true. That's not even close. You will not shoot more. You'll probably shoot less. I shoot most of my practice and demos in classes. Like when I'm demoing for a class, that's my practice most of the time.
Yeah.
I dry fire and that's pretty much it, right? It's a struggle to learn how to be adaptable to the demands of a thing because you don't know what it's going to take. And no one can tell you what it's going to be like for you. It might be slightly different for other people, but the core experience talking to all the guys that I've been through in this industry, other instructors, it's very clear line of like this is pretty much how it ends up working, right? You have to decide which parts of your life are important, which you're going to prioritize and which ones are not, and cut out those things that don't mean anything. They don't add value. So that was a struggle for me. Me being an ADHD person and easily lost on squirrel trails out into the ether, having to shut down and step back and say, look, I don't have the time, energy, will to engage with this, even though I might want to. I cannot allow myself to get trapped in this little iota of whatever it is and lose sight of the bigger picture, which is the end goal. And sticking your eyes in that one place in the future, okay, and pick it. It can be a 2-year goal, a 5-year goal, whatever it is. Pick that spot because you can't right now necessarily build towards a 10-year goal, right? It's big picture. Life changes, you might move, you get sick, whatever happens.
Many things can happen.
Yeah. So pick a 2-year, pick a 3-year, pick a 4-year, and make them attainable and realistic. I mean, this is not anything new. I'm not creating anything new, but it's just this realization of how powerful those tools are from coming from guys like John Wooden or Lonnie Basham, these, with winning in mind, to look forward to that 2-year and say, okay, I want to be able to post for me in my realm and what I'm doing. I want to be able to post 35, 40 classes a year. I want to fill 75 to 80% of those. I want to have marketing outreach, reach this many people, like actually have attainable goals. And the thing is, I think a lot of people in the shooting tactical community don't have a sense for business. We may be good at shooting. We may even be good at teaching. But until we're willing to like peel the Band-Aid off, let go of our ego and say, you know what, if I want to be successful and I want to use this as a real tool, you have to learn how to do those other things. And that's a hard one to swallow, because that's where I think a lot of people are like, oh, this isn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to go back to my day job.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of folks kind of see, guys like you out there, teaching everyone all the stuff, and it's like looking at an iceberg, right? Like they don't see all the back end admin work and all the failures, and like not being able to shoot as much as you might think you're going to. I'm sure a lot of guys are like, I'm gonna be an instructor. Like I'm gonna shoot every day, all day. I'm gonna get so good, competitive. I'm gonna be a grandmaster.
Well, and then when
It's
you do shoot, it's not what you think it is. Like, it's very rarely do you get to just go out and have fun. Because even when you're shooting on your own, you're critiquing, because you're looking at like, okay, when I go shoot this demonstration in class, when I'm trying to illustrate a perspective, it's not about how fast can I do it, like max every time. It is, can I break it down and actually demonstrate the skills and development that we're building in the class to give you the tools, so that it's not me showing you how good I am. It's, these are the steps that I'm trying to show you that
yeah,
get from where you are to where you want to be.
yeah.
That's
You
a
get to teach
that's an
yourself how to teach.
it is, and it's an egoless presentation, because there's no ego in going 50% speed all the time, right? Or 75% speed all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, at some point as an instructor, you have to be able to pull what was that out of your ass, right? It has to be bang, like do something crazy. And they go, "Oh, wow." And I'm like, "All right, what did you actually see from that?"
Yes. Let's focus now.
Nothing. You saw nothing. You saw me do something, you're like, "Oh, no, that was cool." But it's not teaching you anything. It's not giving you any value. So those hurdles of like, this is why I love shooting and teaching shooting, I think, is it's so much like the real raw essence of life. You can't fake it. You either show up and do the work or you don't. And everyone will know, right? There is no hiding on
Yeah.
on the range, because you can either do it or you can't. And that's like life, because some people say fake it till you make it. In real life, in long-term preservation of your skill, of your finances, right? There is almost no faking it till you make it, right? We
No.
can't. You
Yeah.
have to get out there and put in the work and float it. And you're going to be paddling and dumping water out of the boat sometimes, right? But you keep paddling, right? And that's one of the biggest hurdles, is getting over the mental side of this, especially as an entrepreneur, being relatively solo in this. My wife helps me so much. I would not be able to do everything I do without her. But I have like core friend group of people that support and kind of I reach out to for help and thoughts. But in terms of doing this, you can't lean on them to be there to teach for you. You can't lean on them to show up and pace targets and clean up the range and be there and call roster. Like, you have to learn how to do all that stuff and be much more self-reliant in everything you do, because if your skill's not there, you're not out there doing the dry fire, you're not out there developing. It's going to show when you walk out on the range, and people are not going to come to your class because you're not doing the thing that you say you're doing. And there's been a big shift. I mean, I'm involved, the clientele people in this group are involved in the shooting and training community. There's a major shift from the like competition to get you killed in the streets, and the other side of the like tactical training community, where like this is the only thing that matters, and accountability, and slow down and get your hits and all. There's this blending that's occurring right now in the training community that has never, I mean, not in recent history have we seen it, right? There's been this big divide.
Yeah.
Now, if you look back in the 70s, 80s, up into the 90s, and you look back at the guys that were shooting at the highest level back then, whether in competition or whatever, those guys that were pushing the envelope look a lot like the guys that are pushing the envelope today, right? There's not a big change there. You see the guys at the highest level. They're not listening to anybody else. They're just doing. And that was a huge checkpoint for me. Stop listening to the voices that are there speaking out of jealousy, that are speaking out of frustration, that, oh, you just got lucky. It's funny how luck looks like 10 to 15 years of hard work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those are the people who see for the last 15 seconds of you
that's
on
it.
the range. They saw
Yeah,
nothing leading up to it. All the misses,
exactly.
all the
Right.
frustration.
And people look at me and they're like, oh, you as an instructor, like, it's great, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I miss all the time. If never missing is the qualification of instructor, I'm not an instructor. I miss all the time. And I guarantee you, I know a lot of the guys at the highest level in this game, they miss all the time too. Because if you're not pushing hard enough to miss, you're not training. You're not pushing yourself. So stop letting that be the indicator of what it is we do or don't do. In terms of like the idea of what I could go, if I could go back
Yeah.
and tell myself something, that really, like, that one took me a minute to like, what would I tell myself at the beginning of this to be like a real salve, or like, what, this is going to be hard. There is no if ands or buts around it. It's going to be harder than probably anything you've ever done in your life in terms of putting yourself out there, going and paying to, have your license set up, do all that stuff. That's relatively easy for some people. It's cheap, but when you're living like normal people do, that's a big step,
Yeah.
right? You're taking on a lot of liability. You have to get your own insurance. You have all these things in the tactical training side that you need to know how to do. And there's no guidebook. You need to have a mentor. So first thing, latch on to somebody that is good at teaching, good at shooting, right? Because those two things are separate, but also who has fought that battle. Because there are guys out there in the teaching community who, like I said before, when you have a certain amount of talent and it comes easy to you, it's very hard to go back and remember what it was like when you sucked at it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're teaching new people, you have to understand where they are in their shoes and empathize in that moment. Say, look, I understand how hard this seems and what struggle you're going through. This is how we get past it. This is how we fix it. And that persona as an instructor, just egoless. I'm not here to prove anything, to show anything. I'm here to help you get better, period. That's all I want. That will change people's perspective towards you. It will bring back students, because trying to present some sort of like GWAT vet bro aura, that was dead 15 years ago and we just didn't know it, right? And it just doesn't work. You can act that way all you want, but it doesn't bring people to your class. If people are there to touch the magic because you're Delta, SEAL, whatever, not to degrade any of those people, they're American heroes in their own right. Okay. But if that's why people are coming to your class, I have questions, right? If you're not really giving them competency, confidence in their skill set, really measuring what they are and are not doing and giving them that back, that is huge. So find a mentor who can build that structure for you. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, like I said before, stop listening to those negative voices, right? Maybe 5% of it, because some people, even a blind squirrel is going to find a nut. The haters are going to say something, or they're going to be looking for the weakest part of what it is you're
Yeah.
doing. Hear that and go, okay, screw you, but you're right. And I'm going to fix that, right? And go fix it. Don't take it as an affront. Don't take it personal. Don't listen to the little of everything else. Just
Yeah.
hear that one moment and go, okay, this is where I need to fix. This is because if I can cancel that out, what do they have to use against me, right?
And I think
And
people at
it's
that
going to
point
get better.
also need to listen for consistency. Even if those haters, you hear the same comment over and over again, ignore it for the first few times, but then just, this is going to happen, right? But then, okay, so I'm hearing this more and more. I hate hearing this. It hurts, but like you said, you're right. We'll fix it. And
Yeah,
then everyone will
yeah. It
shut up.
it now we feel that way, right? If I fix this, they'll shut up. They won't. They'll find
Yeah.
something else. But
Yeah.
at that point, I say, okay, are we moving the goalpost now? Do I really? At any point, is the goal of what I'm trying to do? And this is big number 3 for me. And this is a discussion I've had with a good friend of mine, Hunter Freeland. He actually just did a big podcast with Ironsight at SHOT Show, and great dude. One of my close friends. He said the big differentiator between instructors is, are they beholden to their internet following? Are they beholden to the process? Are they really focused on trying to make people better? Are you there for the right reasons? Because if you're there to look cool and wear Cry Precision and show up on the range, you're going to burn out,
Yep.
right? Either you're not going to do the work because it's just not there for you to do. You don't understand it.
Yes.
Or you're going to have to come to that face-to-face, like talk to Jesus moment and say, I am not who I thought I was, right? And that's a hard moment. That's when people either
Yeah.
break away or grow past it. And I think that's the hard part for a lot of people. If you come into it and realize, hey, I am absolutely nobody, right? I'm slightly further down the training road than you are, and I'm trying to leapfrog you over 15 years of mistakes and bad choices and bad equipment and all the things that we've fought with, right? I want to shortcut that learning process for you. Like,
Yeah.
let's jump past it. I'm going to give you the most direct advice I can. I'm going to be straight to the point. I'm not going to pander around brands or any of that.
Yep.
This is what it takes to get better at shooting, right? These are the things that make it easier. The mechanical structures, your good holster, your good belt, quality firearm, whatever, all of that. But being direct and not living your life beholden to any sort of internet presence, right? Like,
Yeah.
do the one thing I would say, it's not being beholden to the internet, but the algorithm in terms of like, hey, these are the things that I did media wise that actually resonated with people. You're going to be surprised, because for me, the 3 and 4 minute videos where the people that I know shoot react to them. They're like, man, that's really good information. But they get 400 views, and then I post a video of me shooting a drill pretty quickly, and it gets 17,000 views or whatever. It's that
Oh,
variation.
surprising.
It is, and you never know, right, until you start paying attention to what is it people want to see, right? What draws their attention? Because really, you have that 3 to 8 second window in social media to
Very
grab
short.
people. Yep, grab them. So be willing to do that, right? And if you feels like, oh, it feels fraudulent, whatever, let it be. Let it be feel fraudulent. If they show up to your class and get better because of it, does it matter?
Yeah. It's
So,
being, ask yourself, did it
yep,
work?
yep. And that's the removing your ego, removing yourself, getting yourself out of the way. Because I think that's the hardest part. The hardest part for me has been getting myself out of the way and really being honest with yourself about what works, what doesn't, finding a good mentor who's going to guide you in the right direction, right? They're not trying to rope you in for some of their own gain, right? They just want to see you grow and get better. And that's huge for me. That was the biggest things I think that sort of built me towards where I'm going now and what I'm doing. So that's what I got for right now. So if you got questions,
No, Matt, I mean,
poke
you've
holes.
hit on a ton of great points, and the mentor thing, I mean, that hits home for me over the years of me owning the business and running other businesses. I've always come back to that, knowing that I'm never gonna know everything I want to know. I want to know things sooner, so you got to talk to people who are where you want to be or have done what you want to do, and say like, not like, give me the keys, but like, how can I do this more efficiently? Like that's also part of the hope with these sorts of podcasts too, is someone will listen to this, 15, 20-minute video and get one piece and say, oh shoot, well, I got to make sure that if I'm going to start, like, we were saying the whole iceberg thing, if
Mm-hmm.
people are considering like, they're at the range and everyone's like, you're a good shooter. And they're like, I am.
Well, we've
It's like,
started a problem.
I know. It's like, okay, so you might be a great shooter. And, we know a lot of folks, but then the whole back end of the business and stuff like that, like, you know, starting all the legal side of things. Hey, bud, I am in
The
the middle of work. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
the the other side of shooting and teaching, I think a lot of people do that. They're like, "Oh, I was the best shooter in my law enforcement agency, or I was the best shooter at this." Like, okay, small pond, right? Really, like small pond. We have these moments of
Yes, you can have those.
strong like attachment to that, like everyone sees me and thinks I'm good at this. You
Yeah.
need to go measure yourself against a bigger crowd, right?
Yeah.
You need to
That,
start finding the metrics of what high level shooting really means, like what
yeah.
is the capability, and not let your ego get in the way, because a lot of cops, this happens almost every time, cops and new shooters in competition is always come in and they get absolutely mollywopped by some dude in tall socks, New Balances, and cargo shorts. And they're like, oh, well, this is dumb. It's going to get you killed in the streets. Or they go, I've got work to do,
Yeah.
right?
That's
If
it.
you cannot get your ego out of the way, you're never going to grow past that. You are the roadblock for yourself. Let
Yeah.
go of it. It's not helping you, right? Obviously, if you have a high level skill set based in confidence and competency, that's a whole different thing than I just can't deal with affronts to my ego because I thought I was better than this. Okay,
Yeah.
you're not. Let the world tell you that and then do something about it.
It
That's
makes perfect
a big
sense. I
thing.
mean, that hits in shooting and business and life. I mean, there's really not too many industries I can think of where having a big ego is going to be beneficial. I mean, there's some, but at the end of the day, for
Finance.
most of us regular folks that just want to build a business and, help some people out, don't need it, move it off to the side and you'll do better. You'll help more.
Yep, absolutely, and that's what I wish people could see is there's plenty of ego-driven, semi-psychopathic people out there that are narcissistic and very interested in themselves. And if their whole idea of what their business is about is their image, it's probably not going to last, right? I mean, not to be religious about it, but the biblical perspective of like building your house on sand or building your house on the rocks, right? Like which one's going to work? And the rocks have to be something solid. It has to be something real, organic, firm. You have to build a community of people around you that are seeing you're doing the right thing, right? And do it for yourself, not for them, but they see it
Yeah.
and it's going to magnetize people to you and protect that, right? Protect those people, protect your space and business. And on the other side, the last thing I think I'll touch on
Yeah.
in this industry specifically, a lot of people try to degrade other people in the business, other instructors. They like to attack them or oh, he's teaching this garbage or he's teaching that. Like, there's plenty of room in this business for us all to make a living, right? Like, let's be fair. We're probably as instructors competing for the same 20 to 30,000 people in the country at any given time. It seems weird, but there's only 40,000 people in USPSA and not all of them train, right? And then there's the tactical community, which they might go to a class twice in their life, once or twice, right? There's a small group of people who consistently train, and you need to be aware of that as a business. If anybody wants to throw shade, let them throw shade. If anybody wants to try to attack you and it's something ridiculous, I find the most adult, mature answer is to just, cool, dude. I'm still making a living. I'm still doing what I'm doing. And then the people that come out of my classes who you have not been to are telling me I'm doing the right thing, then I'm going to continue to do that, right? And I know for a fact I'm doing the right thing because I see it work. So be honest with yourself, but be confident in that. When you know you're headed the right direction, don't let up. Just keep pedaling, because it takes patience. It takes a lot of patience, because it's not working, it's not working, it's not working until it is.
Yeah. It's
And
going to take longer than you think.
there's a moment, right, where things flip over and suddenly people are calling you. People are signing up for your classes. People are showing up because you have showed that consistency that I'm going to do the work. I'm going to be the one that's there every time. I'm going to be consistently better. I'm chasing that. And it's chase that passion in yourself first. Other people see it and they will follow it.
That's like a mic drop moment right there.
I wish. I'm not that cool.
Oh, good, man. There's that lack of egos coming in again. Good work. But no, man, I think this is going to be hugely beneficial to anyone who gets a chance to listen. And I do appreciate
Appreciate
you
it.
hopping on, man. This has been fun and insightful. I got some inner work, inner thinking to do now. So I do appreciate you dropping in, man. This is cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Take care.